Hello everyone, my name is Muir and this is Starsector version 0.95a RC15. What we have here is what I like to call the XYPHOS MORA. So the XYPHOS MORA, it is effective against everything of its class and lower. So it's relatively effective against cruisers, destroyers, and frigates. Now, its entire build revolves around the XYPHOS being able to effectively disable enemy ships. That's more effective against cruisers, and the dual autocannons, just massing them. That makes it so that the Mora is effective at taking down enemy shields relatively quickly, or at least maxing them out and putting hard flux on them so that the XYPHOS, their ion beams, will actually penetrate those and do EMP damage to enemy vessels. So this is good against, so we have integrated targeting unit, but this is good against frigates, and it is good against destroyers. Cruisers, it's iffy, but realistically speaking, you'd be massing these, so you'd have a different variant of this, which we will cover later. Let's go ahead and show how this works against a mass of frigates. Okay, so a typical fleet of frigates be something like this. Now, it's important to have a reckless officer on these, because otherwise they will try to stay at max range, and we don't actually want them to do that. We want them to close in with the enemy. Alright, but we have this relatively large fleet of enemy ships here. As we can see, this is already completely disabled by the XYPHOS. And enemy ships that don't have shields will very quickly be overwhelmed. Alright, so whatever ship this is focusing on will potentially just die relatively quickly if it's a frigate. We've lost one of the XYPHOS, and let's just see how it works. Just completely disabling them and slowly taking them down. Alright, so the strong point of the XYPHOS is that when the Mora can't fire, the XYPHOS still can. So as long as the Mora can overwhelm, as long as the Mora can use its special, it can effectively vent most of its flux very quickly and easily. And as long as the XYPHOS are up, they can essentially kill most things relatively quickly. Alright, so the ill-advised upgrades by the pirates are sort of working against them now. But the XYPHOS are making short work of some of these enemy ships, disabling them enough to where the Mora can turn to catch up with them. It seems like it's really focused on this one at the moment. Alright, there goes another one. Now, an important thing about this is you could easily have, if you have 12 officers, well, you have 10 officers, and then there's you. You could go up to 11 officers, I think. So you could have 12 Moras set up like this, and be able to take down most things. Now, this will more or less be able to get rid of all the frigates that are going to be harassing you. It does struggle a bit more whenever we start putting it up against cruisers, so let's see how well it does against two hammerheads. Let's go with a hammerhead and a shrike. I haven't done this one yet, so I am curious to see how well it works. Alright, let's go. Now the shrike has higher damage, and the hammerhead has really high damage as well. However, the shrike is doing a terrible job in that it is currently overwhelming its shield, its flux. Now we did max out, we did force it to vent, and over here that we're forcing that one to vent as well. We are running into a problem in that they are fast enough to where they can just avoid the majority of damage, which is This would be fantastic in a fleet setting because it would force these two ships to stay back, while your Moras that are set up with bombers would be able to kill them, while the XYPHOS and this Mora protects your other Moras. It doesn't really look like this Mora will be able to kill them unless they make real blunders. Yeah, I'm not thinking that they'll actually be able to kill these in any reliable amount of time. Any reasonable amount of time, I suppose. Alright, so... yeah, it won't be able to chase them down. So, let's see how it does against something in its own weight class. Something that won't run away from it. Let's go. It can force them to stay back, but it won't be able to chase them down. Now, you won't be wanting to use this kind of ship on its own. That would be a mistake. What you would normally do is mix this with a variant of this, which uses bombers, preferably tridents. Alright, so while it is doing a good amount of damage to the Mora, if my tests work out, then what's going to happen is a lot of its weapons are just going to start getting disabled, which will give the Mora a chance to vent a lot of its flux, and then continue attacking the enemy ship. Now, without the fist of the bombers to really take down the enemy ships, when their shields are down, it does struggle a bit to take down larger ships. However, like right now, it could probably get away with taking down its shields for the most part. But the Mora is faster than the Conquest, the Dominator, right? The Dominator. So it's having a lot fewer and fewer problems. But it's looking like this needs to be paired with the bomber variant to be effective. But good against frigates, not the best against destroyers or cruisers or capitals. Alright guys, my name is Muir. This has been the XYPHOS Mora. As I've said, fantastic at actually holding its own and forcing other ships to move around. Not great at actually killing things. So think of this as a zone of denial sort of ship. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing if you'd like to see more. I really want to know what you'd like to see more of, so just let me know in the comments below. Thanks, and see you next time. Bye.